Stay tuned. We're going to be. No, excuse. That's Mike Polk and Jr. and the Rizzo Show starts now.
The Hard Rock Rocksino Northfield Park presents The Rizzo Show. And now your host, Tony Rizzo, with co-host Mike Polk Jr.
Super Bowl! I did that just for you, Polky.
It is St. Patrick's Day.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. Happy St. Patrick's Day out there. No, we haven't been drinking, but we are here tonight to have a little fun with you. Of course, Mike Polk Jr. and I are here, and our special guest, Tony Dorsey, who is Browns analyst for ESPN Cleveland. Tone, can you actually believe what's happening with the Browns? You and I have done this for 3 decades or plus. And right now, Tone, the whole world is a Browns fan.
It's almost like they're coming off a Super Bowl victory, and the whole town is euphoric. And they're still a 7-8-1 team, but everyone expects that to change.
It's all relative, T. Yeah. When you come, Michael, am I right? When you come from where we've come from,
I mean, long run.
I know you, and I know you're. Are we going to be able to handle this?
People have been asking that a lot. Is the town ready? Is the fan base ready? Oh my gosh, are we going to somehow blow this or something like that? Here's where I find comfort. We've already been 0-16. We've already been awful. We've already blown it before. What could be worse about adding all these weapons and having potential as opposed to going 0-16? We cannot possibly be worse. Nothing can go more wrong. We've lost games when guys threw helmets.
Are you really
up in the
saying
air.
this right now?
I mean it. It can't be bad. We're fine, everybody. Just relax and enjoy it.
All right, before we get to the OBJ stuff, Tone, the Browns learned over the weekend, Friday, about Kareem Hunt. He's going to be out 8 games. How does this affect things?
Well, I think it's what the Browns were planning for, and for that respect, it's good. It's kind of good news. It's not bad news. It's the expected news.
Did you think 8 was about right?
Yeah, 6 to 10, 8's right in the middle. So, there were multiple incidents there, which accounted for, I think, 2 extra games. It would have been 6 games had it been just the one that everyone has seen on video. But I think Kareem Hunt is considered a long-term investment by John Dorsey. They're the 8 games this year, but then they own his rights thereafter. And I think he's only 23 years old. He's very much in the future plans of this team.
We've been hearing lots of buzz about them trading Duke Johnson. I don't know how we've never been able to utilize him correctly through like 2 different regimes because he seems like a real weapon. How does this affect his trade status and value?
Yeah, I think it accelerates it.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought for a while that he's fine for this year, but it wouldn't surprise me if someone came out. It's not like you want to unload him, but it's an asset that you feel you're a little more comfortable now. If someone gives you something that isn't going to be there at the trade deadline or even next year, he might go ahead and do it.
Tony, Mike asked me last week about 5 times on the show if Odell Beckham Jr. was coming to Cleveland. And, of course, folks, I said what I thought at the time. It was a long shot, but I did give a 20% chance to come here. How surprised are you that Dorsey pulled the trigger?
Well, I'm surprised the Giants pulled the trigger more than him because I think the price tag everyone expected to be ridiculous, which is 2 number 1s or something that would, mortgage something in the future. But when you consider what they did, obtaining him and a pass rusher, Olivier Vernon, for a starting guard, a starting safety, and a pick in the first round that is not even top 5. It is the middle of the first round. And then a throwaway 3rd round pick that was at the bottom of the 3rd round. I think it was a no-brainer at that point. Everyone thought the Giants would ask for more.
I know nobody's talking about it right now because we're all excited about, obviously, Odell. But do you think losing Peppers, I'm not saying, of course, we should have done it. You had to do it if you had to. But is that a bigger deal than we're giving it credit for right now?
Well, keep in mind that was a player that came before Dorsey. And we don't know if he would have drafted him in the 1st round or not.
I'm going to guess no.
Yeah. He showed improvement the 2nd year when they brought him from Toledo, playing center field in Toledo to downtown Cleveland. That was a big improvement, but I think they feel that's a position that's kind of expendable. You find another safety.
And I think it's all about weapons for Baker, too, Tone, right? I mean, Browns signed a bunch of guys on defense when this whole free agency started. They went and got, how impactful will Odell Beckham Jr. be in this offense?
Wow. We've never seen anything like this. I can't give you an intelligent answer to that.
Josh Gordon, when he had the 1 good year.
Right. But he didn't have the weapons around him that are already here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a chance that this team could be the highest scoring team in the NFL next year. There's a chance if everything goes right. They certainly have the players to do that. Plus, there's a little mystery with this new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
What will he bring to things? And then Baker's expected improvement in year 2. I thought they were going to be a powerhouse before they traded for Odell Beckham.
Go ahead.
It shows you how much faith that they have in Baker too. In year 2, he wasn't even our starter going into last year, and now they're just like, "Good luck, kid. Here's all these awesome weapons, and we trust you to make it all work together somehow with a new offensive coordinator and a new head coach."
And who doesn't feel confident that he'll be up to the task?
Right. That's the thing. I mean, nobody's like, "This kid can't do this."
Michael, you mentioned the head coach. Tone, a lot of pressure on Freddie Kitchens in his rookie year in the NFL. I mean, he's been handed the keys to a Ferrari.
He sure has, and he's still got his temporary license. I mean, you know, that's the kind of pressure that's fun pressure in his job. No Browns coach in my time has been handed what he's got in front of him. Not, you know, the 8 games last year where he was coordinator, everyone on the team knows him. He knows the players that are being brought in. The quarterback has a relationship with him. He's got the best head start of any head coach I've seen.
And the best hoodie in the game, if you just saw that one that he got.
We can't find that.
No, you can't.
Do you know that?
I do know where you can get it, actually. That's one of those generic ones that you get at Mark's for like $4 because it's not trademarked.
What about those guys on the corner of 9th and Lakeside?
They can hook it up. They can hook it
where
up.
Freddie got it? Probably knowing him. Well, Tony, the impact of even Odell Beckham Jr. and the other signings has been felt in Las Vegas, Nevada. Tone, when is the last time the Cleveland Browns have been that close to, Tony, 14-1? I mean, Mike, it was 200. Remember you and I years ago went out and bet the Browns to win the Super Bowl was 250.
I put $25 down on it, and I think if I would have won, I would have won $250,000 or something like that.
Tone, are they, how much, because Vegas doesn't play around. Now, when I saw this, I was like, okay, maybe this hype is real, right?
No, it is. I mean, who's going to differ with the Las Vegas bookmakers, you know? Yeah, it's real. I mean, we don't have to pinch ourselves. It's real. The expectations are there, and they're not just Cleveland falling in love with what might happen. I mean, the entire league and the sports community sees this team as the up-and-coming team, not only to win the AFC North, but the AFC. That's what Beckham has done. They've gone the other notch.
Right. So what do you think the over-under should be for wins? Last year in Vegas, I think it was 5.5, and the Browns went over 6, something like that. Yeah. Where do you give me a ballpark? And I know we haven't even seen the schedule, but what are you thinking about? 9, 10, 11?
Well, I saw somewhere where it was 9.5. You could find 9.5 right now. I think that's an over right there. You got the over on that.
Tone, really?
Sure, they won the 7 games with.
Right.
You know, after making a coaching change. It's real. I mean, they have to go out and do it, of course, but that should be everyone's. I know everyone in that building has those expectations.
And people are actually might be able to see Browns games this year because we are going to end up on
I got a little news. Got a little news. According to ticket sales in Berea, the Browns have a 1,500+ person waiting list for season tickets. You can't buy season tickets. You can buy single game tickets.
Mike Holmgren was right the whole time.
and Tony, you think we're going to get a lot of primetime games, as many as 4, but tell everybody you think on opening weekend we're going to be in play.
Well, yeah. The Browns on their schedule, they play at New England. To me, with Odell Beckham, it's almost, in my mind, I think they're the favorite to open the season Sunday night in Foxborough. Now, that's not a great game for Freddie Kitchens to make his debut.
No pressure there.
Yeah, but I think the networks would love that game with Beckham and the star power of the Browns. And if not that game, I could see them opening Monday night against the New York Jets.
Yeah, we may never play at 1 o'clock again.
It's going to be such a switch. I start at the beginning of the season normally, and I write on my calendar when all the games are. I'm like, Sunday, 1 p.m. Sunday, 1 bye week, Sunday, 1 p.m.
Right.
And they would put us on before that London game, that early if they could. You know they would in the past.
Tone, when is the statue of John Dorsey going up here in Cleveland? Tone, his stock is as high as it's ever been. We have national people saying he could run for mayor, governor, like, you know. But Tone, just talk about.
Probably use him in both of those offices.
Hey now, but what?
I don't know. He's got a Midas touch right now. Very little transactions that have gone sour under him. It seems like every decision he makes is a bullseye. And you know, that's part of the acceleration. You're not expected to hit every single one of them, but he's pretty close, and that accelerates the growth. And his use of these trades, I mean, he made 14 trades in 15 months.
Wow.
I mean,
Busy guy.
I think the rest of the league hasn't made that many trades in the last 15 months.
Where is OBJ? You expect this week, right? Starting tomorrow. That
Yeah,
the Browns
when he got the news, I guess he was in Paris, France, on vacation.
Like so many of us were. Go on.
Yeah, breakfast
Uh-huh.
at the
Well, Katie
Eiffel
was
Tower.
our producer.
Right,
we
of
know
course.
that part about
He'll
it.
go from the Eiffel Tower to the Terminal Tower.
That's just a lateral move.
It is. Can't wait to see him on the field. Don't worry, it's only 6 months away. Coming up, who would you pick as your opening day starter? Tito hasn't made up his mind. Stay with us. Well, welcome back to the Rizzo Show. Tony Grossi, our special guest with Michael and I. Folks, the Indians will be starting. I know some people forgot about that. Over the next 2 weeks, but we don't know who the opening day starter is. Is it Kluber or Bauer? I don't even know why this is a question. I think it should be Kluber, but apparently Bauer is really making a run. Folks, you didn't know this, but Tony Grossi covered the Indians at one point for the Cleveland Plain Deal.
I didn't know that
Way
either.
back in the day, he did.
Yeah.
What do you have a preference? Do you have a preference?
Yeah, Kluber has earned it, I think, his body of work. It's a ceremonial thing, right? The opening day pitcher, the guy to be announced on that mound with all the other stuff going on. Even though we're talking about the road, right? The road the season opener. There's an honor to that, and I think Kluber deserves it for that reason.
Why are we doing this? Why are we even having this conversation?
Michael, because I'm going to tell you something. Trevor Bauer's for real.
Sure.
If Trevor Bauer doesn't get hurt last year, Trevor Bauer has a chance to win the Cy Young Award. Want a good bet in Vegas right now? And a lot of the sports books, go bet Trevor Bauer to win the Cy Young. He's 22-1.
And a sociopath.
And those are great. That's what makes him good.
I know, but I want to know why we're even having this discussion or why it's even up in the air. Kluber finished like third for the Cy Young vote last year. He's won it twice. He's been the opening day. If it's for health reasons, if it's legitimately because you want to keep him warm and not have to save him for the end of the season because he always fades towards the end, that makes sense to me. But if it's like who deserves it, it's not even a question. You put him out there until he gets passed up, and he hasn't been passed up yet.
Maybe in October we'll have a more pertinent question. Who do you want pitching the 7th game of the World Series? There might be a different answer.
Yeah, it probably would be, but that's a different. You're right. It's ceremonial, and he hasn't done anything to take away his right to that ceremonial.
How about this stat? Baseball, MLB did a stat, the 50 top players in the league. You know how many the Indians have? 50 top players in the league.
I don't want to know, do I?
The Indians have 5.
Because of their pitching record.
Okay, right, and Lindor and Ramirez.
Yes,
okay, so they have 5. How about the rest of the division? Anybody want to guess? The whole rest of the AL Central, how many players do they have in the top 50?
I'll go 2.
3.
0.
Wow.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah, you can see what.
0. So they're going to get to the playoffs. The question has been, guys, they haven't been able to get over the hump. I don't want to delve into the 2016 thing again. The Indians should have had a World Series right there. I know they say just get into the tournament, but it just feels like they're a good team in a bad division.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're in the Valley of the Blind, the one-eyed man is king, as they say, and we've been the one-eyed man in this division for quite some time now. And apparently that's just enough for maybe the Dolenses. I don't agree with it.
For the record, folks, the Indians open in Minnesota in late March, and then we're coming home April 1st for the home opener. Bring your parkas, kids. Coming up, don't go anywhere. We're in the spirit of St. Patrick's Day. We'll explain when we come back. Boy, the bandwagon's filling up, man.
Sure is.
Oh, man.
Let them on. Come on, kids.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Who cares?
I know. All right, welcome back. Tony, we're going to have some fun now. It's time to spin the wheel.
Oh, you're going to love this, Tone. What a treat.
Cavs. Do you know the Cavs are still playing?
It's a very vague thing to land on.
They have
it's just
12 days left.
Yeah, they do.
Look, the only thing I'm praying for is Tone Lotto. Cavs need Lotto. They need the #1, don't they? Zion.
Zion's back on the court.
Yeah.
Reminding us he's still there.
Somebody said to me, though, no names, please. I think I think the Cavs are going to try and make a little splash this summer that's going to be unexpected.
That's as vague as that topic. Colin Sexton, though, is actually looking good towards the end of the season. Can you give him credit where
much
credit's
improved.
due?
Much improved.
Young Bull's looking good.
All right, spin it again. Here we go. Spin the wheel. We're gambling. It's legalized. It's legalized. Oh, March Madness. I don't know, Duke. I mean,
Right.
do you fill out brackets? Do you do brackets?
I don't. I go with squares now. I'm just worried about the final score of any matchup.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you brackets?
Yeah, I'll do brackets. I'll do one around the office.
Yeah, you know what's embarrassing? I think I've been doing brackets for 30 years. I've never won.
No.
Like never.
You gotta get pretty
I've
lucky.
never won.
Yeah, you get a headache trying to figure them out.
I won baseball. I won fantasy baseball, and I haven't won in a bracket. All right, spin the wheel. Here we go. Oh, well, that's right. I got to show. I got to tell you how honored I was. That is my son, Michael Rizzo, and he and I got to do a MAC tournament game last Thursday night together,
That's cool.
father and son. Mike did the play-by-play. I did the color commentary. I actually texted one of my coworkers during the game. I said, he doesn't even need me.
Right.
He could have done it by himself, but I want you to know how special that was. I wish my dad was still alive to see that because he would have absolutely loved it.
And I told you, if my dad and I tried to move a sofa together, we'd kill each other within 5 minutes, and you guys are somehow able to do that together.
Conor McGregor one day is being sued for stomping on a fan's cell phone. Michael, you've done that. But later in the same week,
Don't take my picture.
He's buying 100 shots of whiskey for people in a Florida bar. Would you party with Conor McGregor?
I'd party within the realm of Conor McGregor, like kind of across the bar, be like, I'll take one of those, but then not go near him.
On his tab.
Yeah, totally on his tab.
Boy, does that remind me of wrestling. I grew up with professional wrestling with my dad, and that really reminds me.
Don't tell UFC fans that. They'll be like, ours is real. Shut up.
Yeah, they'll want to fight me. One last spin. Here we go. In honor of St. Patrick's Day, Michael, are you green beer guy?
No, it's amateur hour. Drink a real beer. You don't need to do that. That's insane.
You know what? I just said to Polk Tone, I go, Sunday, St. Patty's so weird on Sundays,
It is.
And then he goes, amateur hour.
That's the thing. It's a weekday. That's when the real people go out on St. Patrick's Day.
Hang with the
Go out
pros.
on a Sunday.
Hang with the pros. All right, folks. What's coming up? Well, how about we check in with our favorite spot, the Hard Rock Rocksino. Speaking of which, the Rocksino is going through a transition. Beginning April 1st, it'll become MGM Northfield Park. Mike and I will be out there to check it out. In the meantime, let's see what's happening this week.
And this is what's up at the Rocksino. Let the spinning wheel spin at Hard Rock Rocksino Northfield Park for your chance to win $1 million every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in March. Earn entries every day, 3 times on Tuesdays, to win a 2019 Mercedes GLC Luxury SUV on March 31st. Don't forget to swipe your Rockstar Rewards card at any kiosk March 3rd through March 31st to win free play. Win our largest prizes ever all month long. Treat yourself to an amazing 4-course meal special in Kozar's wood-fired grill every Sunday through Thursday, featuring Kozar's famous petite filet or beer-battered walleye, starting at only $34.99. Don't miss rock and roll legend John Anderson of Yes when he brings his 1,000 Hands Tour to Hard Rock Live on Sunday, March 31st. Find your rhythm at the Hard Rock Rocksino in Northfield Park. Vegas Experience, Ohio address.
Over in Killarney, many years ago.
Oh, Mike, the pipes are calling. Don't forget, stay up and watch our good friends, Big Chuck and Little John. If you're old enough to remember Goulardi like Tony and I, then you certainly are Big Chuck and Little John fans. They are coming up next. All right, not going to put you on the spot. No one's going to tweet this out. But if you had to pick the Browns record, T, right now, based on everything, I know the draft is still coming, but by the way, are we even working on draft night? We don't have a first-round draft pick, but
we'll see if Dorsey could get back in the first round just for our part.
Just for fun. Tell him to do
somehow.
it. You know what? Tell him to do it just for fun because we need a show. Tell him, what do you think, though? What record are you looking at? Last year you said 6 or 7 wins. You were right on the number.
I think I'm conservative. I'm going to say 11, which would be enough to win the division. And you know, to go beyond that is a little
11 wins. Look at
Tony
Paul.
Grossi is being conservative
they were
at 11 wins.
7 last year with that mess.
I'm not arguing. It's just weird hearing come
So
from
wait a
him.
minute.
It's great.
So 7 last year, and it could have been 10 if they had a kicker.
Yeah.
It would have been 9 for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
And no Hugh.
By the way, I got one message for the Dorsey. And Dorsey, I love you, man. Anytime I see you, you eat free. Find me my kicker. Tony, are we bringing Greg Joseph back, really?
He'll be back. There'll be someone to compete
You're going to need a good kicker.
Yeah.
Greg, shape
How
up.
many years have you been saying the find me my quarterback?
Now it's find me my kicker.
It's a nice step down.
Good to be alive. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Tony.